Yo, thanks for clicking. You're listening to Time In with your host, Ricardo Lungus. With me is the smarter than you, Tommy Crenshaw.
Wow, I don't know how to take that. No, I'm not. I mean, smarter than a you, like the farm animal. I'll take. Yeah, I'm just.
Oh
I'm
well,
just.
you're definitely smarter than a sheep, Tommy. I'm just saying. I was just being a little hyperbolic over there. Just throwing a little hyperboles out there.
Well, yeah, no, I'm just. Listen. I'm not. I don't claim to be a smart guy. I just claim to be somebody that is a sports forecaster and commentator. And prognosticator. I'm just here to talk about what sports is doing, the past, present, future, and I have a pretty good
Yeah.
track record. I mean, I'm not, pretty good.
Hey, you know your stuff is what we're saying. You know your stuff, Tommy.
Well, I study my brains off and wear my butt off and that kind of thing, and you do the same, and that's why we get along so great. We've been friends for a very long time for this very reason. And we're here to
Exactly.
cover some
Exactly.
very important time right now is the Olympics. And the Olympics are something that I think, here's the thing that I think a lot of people have this sentiment is that, a few months after Christmas go by and they go by and they go by. And you start to have a craving. And you're like, man, I want a big glass of eggnog and a giant slice of fruitcake. And you get close to it and you get the craving gets stronger and stronger and stronger. So when you get to you're having the family meal and all the people are over, and you say, "Give me the biggest slice of fruitcake you could possibly cut. Give me the biggest tall. Let me two fists. Let me two fist the eggnog." And everybody's happy, and you take a few sips, and you forget how much it's just downright awful. It's just horrible. But the excitement is there before you get into it. And that's for a lot of people are the Olympics. They're like, oh yeah, here are these great novelty games. They're excited and they watch it for a couple of days. And then they say, oh yeah, I forgot this is garbage. For the exception of a few sports that are really playing the game and we know what those sports are, the rest of them are weird activities with athleticism that people call their cousin or their a friend they haven't spoken to since elementary school and say, we got a spot for you, come and play, go train for a day and you're on the team. That's garbage. Olympics need to straighten up their act, get real sports, just all real sports involved. They're inviting some new sports, it's good. Yeah, some of those are great. But by and large, when you have water polo, by the way, water polo is on in your mix. Why is that one of all? Here's the thing. Let me just come on. Let me just give me a second. Let me go off on tangent. This is I'm very passionate about this. Okay, so water polo. Name one good water polo player. Name one or water polo player. I'm sorry, that you can think of that's ever played a game. Name one.
I can't do it, Tommy. All I really want to know, Tommy, is why they got rid of the horses. That's all I want to know.
No, okay, we can talk about the horses in a second. And then Bruce Springsteen's daughter is a freaking fantastic, the equestrian stuff. But
Equestrian, yeah, yeah.
And that's, yeah. And she didn't get there because her father, he never sang about horses. A lot of bands, Rolling Stones, the Indigo Girls, the Crazy Horse. There are a lot of bands that sing about horses. No, but he didn't. So she didn't get there because of that stuff. But no, I just the water polo thing is unless you have a relative or a friend that brags about it, which I don't know why they would. But water polo is just this weird thing that let me explain it this way: a small town newspaper. You got a water polo team that's making the rounds. They're playing in some weird league, but they're not making any money. This is all like backyard pools and swim holes and the creeks and creeks and bayous and stuff like that. They play the game. Where they play it. I don't even think most of the time they don't practice in water. They Nerf balls and they practice on the roof of their house because the wife says you can't do this indoors, like smoking cigars and stuff. So they go on the roof because it's embarrassing. But they so a small town paper is covering needs news stories. They desperately need news stories. So the captain of the water polo will say, "Yeah, okay, we're going to get in here. We're going to get some popularity." So they call up the small town newspaper, say, "Hey, listen, I got a story for you. Just got a couple of sentences, at least give us some respect." And then the editor says, "No, we're not going to run that. Nobody's going to read that. Nobody cares about that. No, please do it. No, just a couple sentences. Say, listen, there's a squirrel that got his stuck in a tree, and his tail got caught in a hole in the tree, and it swung until it freed itself, and then it went on to better places. That's the story we're gonna run with. You want a water polo stuff? Buy an ad. Buy an ad. We'll put you in the paper. We're not gonna write up with the squirrel that got his tail caught in the hole in the tree. It's a better lead. It's a better story. People are gonna like that. That's what they like. You go on YouTube. How many of those squirrel videos you watch? I've watched probably a couple thousand of them. I couldn't tell you one water polo I've ever watched.
So what you're saying, Tommy, is that you are not a fan of water polo, if that's what I'm getting.
I'm saying that nobody is, except for family members.
Yo, dude, there's at least, I would say there's at least 1,000 people on this planet that are big fans of water polo. That's all I'm saying. At least 1,000. And every 4 years they're turned into the Olympics to get the joy of water polo on their television, because they can never ever see it ever in any other place. They turn up for the joy of seeing water polo on the television. And cause, like I said, it ain't gonna be shown anywhere else. Even ESPN ain't showing no water polo matches. I mean, personally, those are some athletic cats. That's what I'm saying. There are some athletic cats, and going by your own definition of sports, Tommy, it is a sport.
It is a sport. It's just a dumb sport. And you said cats. I'd rather watch cats play the game. Yeah, cats swimming around, hitting the ball into the net. I mean, everybody watch that. You watch that on YouTube all the time. Cat videos.
Especially you see the big cats that batting the ball around. You got the tigers, the big old tigers in the wild. They're just batting the thing around. They're playing with it, having all types of fun.
Yeah, that's entertaining.
I love watching those big cat videos.
Oh, that's entertaining.
I love watching them big cat videos.
Oh, that's super entertaining. Yeah, put tigers in there, and they're playing around. They're cute. They're not chasing and killing humans in Bengal. That's disturbing.
Exactly.
They're man killers. But when you see them in the water, just bouncing balls, you're like, okay, that might have killed a few humans, but they're cute as hell. So exactly. You'll get a lot of fans that way. You get a league. You get a complete league. You get sponsors. Teddy's Hardware would sponsor that, but Teddy's Hardware is not going to sponsor a water polo league because nobody's there to see it except for family members.
I don't know. Teddy's Hardware did sponsor that field hockey league that one time. I mean, I think it might have been Teddy's granddaughter or grand niece or something might have been on there. I don't know. I just remember seeing that in a paper. Teddy's Hardware sponsors a local field hockey league or something like that. I don't know.
That's the black sheep Teddy. They're from a family full of Teddys. So that's the George Foreman children, but it's Teddy's had a bunch of Teddy children. Anyway, so so that's my take on the water polo stuff, and there's other silly games and matches, but the weird one is what happened yesterday, is basketball, and that's our sport. I mean that we just watch Giannis and Drew Holiday and all those guys come and beat. A CP3 and yeah.
Yeah, 50 years, 50 chicken nuggets. You know what I'm talking about, Tommy. Yo, 50 chicken nuggets. 50 chicken minis. Giannis went over there and got 50. To celebrate the championship.
Yeah. I mean, that was his thing. Yeah, but no, I was just thinking Chris Paul. A lot of people supporting and.
It was a bad thing. It was USA basketball. The tops of the tops, always been tops of the tops. And what happened? We lost to France.
Yes, France. But France is not all scrubs.
No. I mean. We got the history of like there's history of good players coming to the NBA, playing in European leagues and playing in all types of leagues. There's some good French players.
Well, Tony Parker's brother, Tony Parker's father.
Exactly, all good players, and now today times there's good French players, and some of those good French players were on the French team. So it's just wild though.
Fournier, I mean, 3-pointer with a minute to play. I mean,
exactly.
That was the dagger. Was Evan Fournier? I mean we were falling apart, man. I mean, Drew was doing well, but Kevin Durant. I know he's coming off injury and stuff like that, and still want to play the game. I mean, there's some guys that didn't want to even go out and play. I
don't understand. I mean, this is the Olympics. Some of these guys may not ever get a championship, but they can get them a gold medal. I don't understand. I don't understand it. And I'm not saying these guys ain't good enough to get a championship. I'm just saying they might not be on a championship team. There's tons of dudes that were good enough to get a championship that didn't make it on a championship team, but they made it on they got gold medals though. So they could have got them a gold medal. It doesn't make sense to me. I would get a gold medal, and then try to get a championship, even though I think Drew is trying to do it the other way around, more power to him.
Drew did well, but what happened to Lillard? 3 for 10?
Yeah.
And he kept turning the ball over. He had a couple of turnovers late in the game. I mean, what's that all about? I mean, he's the one who's pressing. He may or may not leave. He's the one that sent Aldridge packing some years ago because they were disagreeing and all this stuff, and Lillard was going to do all this stuff, and now he's going to, where's he going to end up? But, where's he going to end up when he's shooting 3 for 10? I mean, come on now.
I know. It's a crying shame, if you ask me. It's a crying shame. But the team has time, to rest, and and maybe Popovich can get them more motivated and get things going for them, and they they can go on and they can win their way out. They hand the guy. I hope they win their way out. You know what I'm saying, Tommy?
Definitely. But I think here's the deal. I think that Popovich is not used to coaching a team that doesn't have a bunch of foreign players on it. He does well with the foreign players. He doesn't have all of them on there, but he's got to have some foreign players on. He's got the history of that, and now he's going up against all foreign players. And I think he's a bit out of his element. And he's looking at these guys I wish I had these guys on the Spurs. Did this and that, and
because he had Tony Parker, he had Manu Ginobili,
right?
And to a lesser extent, he had Tim Duncan, who was from the Virgin Islands.
That's like a foreign country.
It's like a foreign country, he's used to the foreign players, and now he doesn't know how to coach, I guess, against the foreign players as well. But I think Pop will be able to turn it around. I like Pop. Pop's a good guy. He sends me a birthday card every year. He's a good fella.
No, he's a fantastic guy. I mean, everybody loves Coach Popovich, but the thing is, they got to play Iran next. I mean, Iran, come on, they're not known to be a powerhouse, but there's a lot of pressure. I mean, I don't want to get political. We don't get political too much here. Politics do come into sports, and we're not afraid to talk about it time to time. But the Iran thing, I mean, are these guys, if they don't win, do they get tortured? Do they get basketballs hit, thrown in their faces?
Come on, Tommy. That's just stereotyping, Tommy.
No,
don't be stereotyping, Tommy. Just because they lose doesn't mean some stereotypical evil Iranian stuff is going to happen to them. They lost a match. It happens.
Well, it's not a match. It's a game. We're talking about basketball, not some of these other
basketball game match. You all said. You know what I'm saying, Tommy.
Well, it was a slip of the tongue because you're thinking about some other sports. But
all I know is that you're not. They're not gonna be drawn in quarters because they didn't win, and they're not gonna be, keyholed or something like that.
But
You know what I'm saying,
but
Tommy?
that's a different. We don't know how they operate, and I love Iranian people. I mean, those are great people. They're super nice. They're friendly. They're just they know how to dance and sing and do all this stuff, but they're not allowed to do all this stuff in their country. It's just
You're stereotyping, Tommy.
no, but it's the government. Like it's just like us. We don't have to agree with what our government does. We don't have to go on a campaign and talk about we hate it. We just say, hey, listen, I don't agree with this stuff. It's fine. But they have to say, oh, the government's great. And so that's the problem. But we're gonna beat them. That's the thing. Some bad stuff could happen. So maybe we throw the game just to be nice. And that's going to be the issue. And then like a bunch of evil countries are going to rule the Olympics because all the good countries are afraid that they're going to beat the players and they're going to get tortured because they lost, or they're going to get disappeared, or their families and stuff. It's just, these things, when you're a country like that, they shouldn't be allowed to play in the Olympics maybe. But, we're playing all these preschool games on top of all this stuff. I mean, seriously, like I said, with the water polos and the shooting pellets and the next thing you know, there's going to be jumping jacks in the Olympics. I mean, come on.
I mean, they used to have the rope climb in the Olympics, and tug of war back in the day.
And tetherball, I think, was in the Olympics at one point.
It possibly was. I don't remember that one, but I wasn't around for all the Olympics, so I can't comment on that one. We gotta understand, at the end of the day, these are people playing sports. These are athletes. These are people who most likely have met each other in the field of battle per se before. They have mutual respect for each other. So, when you have mutual respect from people, you don't let them win because that's a sign of disrespect. So you go out there, you play your heart. They play their heart, and whoever heart comes out on top, that's who wins. What? And that I think no matter what, that's what people want to see. That's what
right. They want to see that. But here's the thing with a lot of Middle Eastern countries, is that when they feel disrespected, they throw shoes at your face. So if the U.S. wins, and the Iranian team feels like they were disrespected, they take off their shoes and they're throwing them at the faces. Kevin Durant takes a shoe to the face. He's not going to say, oh, that's fine. There's going to be a melee. There's going to be a bloodbath on the court. And I don't know these Iranian players, so I don't want to say that we're going to win. I mean, I think we should. I mean, we got some tall guys on there. Depends on who from the stands is watching, coming in to fight. And, there might be some Japanese sumo wrestler in the crowd because it's in Japan. Or some samurais and ninjas and stuff, and then you're going to have this crazy melee. You think a bar fight is something. If you've got the U.S. basketball team, which are brawlers, and you got the Iranian guys, which are used to fighting for their lives, and then you got the ninjas and the samurais and the sumos, and whoever knows, some
Tommy.
throwing star to the face is got to be a brutal experience.
Tommy, you're turning this whole discussion to a SNL skit now. This is like a whole hey, look at the French guys with their baguettes and the berets and stuff like that. And,
oh yeah, if that is still baguette to the face could probably bloody. I was saying
it's an SNL skit. What you're turning into,
not.
Tommy.
No, it's not. No, you tell me a ninja. No.
You really think there's not a ninjutsu thing at the Olympics?
There's
you got
not.
karate,
Listen,
you got taekwondo, you got judo. There's not even a sumo match. So the sumo match, you can't have fans in there, Tommy.
Not
so
have fans, but these are celebrities. Listen, the people that are getting let in are celebrities. And the celebrities in Japan are your sumo wrestlers, your ninja warriors, your samurais, your sushi chefs, which got like knives and stuff like that. Some
And
actors.
if you are a sushi chef, why you bringing a knife? That you have that.
You always have knives on you. No, because that's your profession.
You have a special case. You have a specialized case that you keep that knife in because you don't want to get.
That's for for certain special occasions you got the cases, but you always have to have a knife on you because it's your identity as a chef. You have to be that's who you are. A cowboy always has a rope and a gun, and a hat.
So there's a sumo guy. Is he's always walking around in his diaper too, Tommy? And that's what we're going for. We're going for all the stereotypes over here. Is that what we're going with?
You're telling me there's a tailor that makes suits? The builds is the right one. I was about to say, yeah, to build a suit for him. It's like, yeah, no, come on. Listen.
Tommy, go to the Google and type in sumo wrestler in a suit. I'll bet it'll come up with a bunch of things.
And it's got to take 10 guys to make that thing. And it's no disrespect. Sumo wrestlers are beasts, and I think they're incredible, and they're dangerous. But I'm just saying, you're telling me, at a basketball, you ever watch a basketball game and in the U.S., an NBA game, and celebrities? Those celebrities are always there. So you're telling me in Japan,
and the celebrities don't fight though.
Yeah,
but the celebrities never
Japan.
fight. The celebrities run. The celebrities run out the door. The celebrities aren't going to fight.
That's in the U.S.
So if they're celebrities, they ain't going to fight. They're going to run and get out of the way.
That's in the U.S. In Japan, it's a different story. The celebrities are vicious, evil fighters. Not evil. I'm sorry, I misspoke. They're vicious, badass fighters. That's what they are. They'll join the fight. I'm not saying whose side they're going to pick. They might divide it up. Who knows what they're going to do. I don't know. Maybe the Iranians tip better. I don't know if Japan, they tip there. Yeah, maybe who knows. Anyway, so we're getting a little bit off track here. Just a little bit off track here. So
a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit here. So
all I'm saying is that respect is respect, and respect. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No, I get that, and I think they iron that stuff out. Let me ask you something here.
What's that?
They're making the surfers surf in the ocean, which is what they like to do.
Yeah.
But they're seeing the waves. You've seen it. The waves. They already started stuff. They're not that big. They're big, and they say, okay, surfers can do this stuff in the small waves. You ever seen some surf movies? I mean, they can surf on a wave that's just a few inches tall. The good ones can. It's not exciting. They can do it, but they rather something with some size, so they can move around, maneuver, and do some tricks and spin moves and flips and jump attacks and stuff like that. They want to do all this stuff. But Kelly Slater, world famous surfer, won a bunch of competitions throughout the years. He's the Michael Jordan.
He's absolute beast. Absolute beast.
Yeah, he's a beast. Came from Cocoa Beach, Florida, too. Florida at the time when he was coming up. Because, Kelly Slater's probably about 55. But he, coming up, Florida was looked at as a joke with surfing. But he, made his way in Hawaii and California and all these places. And Tuvalu, Tahiti, and
all the great surf spots.
Cloudbreak, yeah. So, did all these, and even I think even in Portugal, the big Navarre, whatever it's called. But he said, "I'll build you in Japan. I'll build you a surf tank. See, it's a man-made wave, but it's consistent. Yeah. Surfers can have a consistent playing field, just like basketball players have a consistent playing field, so on, so forth, and the rowboaters have a consistent playing field. So they said no. Japan said no. You go out into the ocean and find a beach. And here's the thing. Japan has some surfers. They do. But not as many as other countries. Like the U.S., Hawaii's part of the U.S., you go to Brazil, you go to Costa Rica, you go to South Africa and other parts of Africa. Anyway, the world has a lot. Australia's got a bunch. And they're used to big waves and all this stuff. My thing is this. You realize how, dumb people get involved in politics.
Yeah. There's lots of dumb people in politics, yeah.
Yeah. And they believe a lot of dumb things. They believe in big...
there's lots of dumb things, that people believe in out there, yeah.
Yeah,
I can agree with that.
Some Scottish politicians probably believe in Loch Ness Monster.
That's a possibility, yeah.
Maybe some representatives in California, Oregon, they believe in Bigfoot.
Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Tommy.
And I'm not hating on Bigfoot and all that stuff. But I think there's some politicians in Japan that want these surfers to go out there so they could get eaten by Godzilla.
Well, I don't know about that one, Tommy. I don't. It's a movie. Everybody knows Godzilla's from the movies. I don't know, Tommy. I don't know if I can quite agree with that one.
No, but think about this. I'm not saying Godzilla exists. it's most likely he doesn't, but he could in some form. I mean, they say like a sponsor could be a plesiosaurus or some arachnosaur or whatever the term is, and the ice caps melted and it kept him stuck there. But maybe like Godzilla is one of those old Sauruses characters, and something kept him frozen there, and the waves of disturbance, like wasps, hornets, and other creatures, bees, beavers, when they hear certain sounds, they get aggravated and they got stuff. I mean, what if it was a Godzilla? It'd be a giant beaver and thought he was here and running water, and went and take some.
So instead of Godzilla, it's got beaver.
No, I'm not saying it's a beaver. I'm saying it could be anything. Is all I'm saying. Whatever. But the deal is that I'm not believing this. I'm saying that people could believe it in the political sphere, and that's why they're sending all these cats all out to the ocean. I mean, God forbid a tsunami happens, and maybe that's what they're hoping for. I mean, the deal is that why are you gonna like deny a world-class surfer to build a tank and say go out into the ocean where there's going to be a 2-foot wave? Seems like they want to send them out there to get eaten by sharks. That's all I'm saying.
I can see the being eaten by a shark thing before I see anything about Godzilla. That's all I'm saying. There's lots of people that eat sharks. And sometimes the shark may want revenge for the fallen comrades. And now you got different peoples from around the world. It may be like a human buffet to them. I don't know. It's like an international human buffet to the sharks. Sharks don't kill that many people a year. They just go up there, they take a little taste, and it could be what's going on. Instead of Godzilla, I think it's just a little bit of a shark bait.
Yeah, no, yeah, it might be right. I mean, regardless of what country you're from, dumb people usually hate outsiders. Smart people welcome them. Because, hey, there's new food we can taste, there's new dance moves, there's new music, there's new ideas on how to look at life. Maybe I'm feeling a little sad, and they got something that's going to make me happy, But unfortunately, our politicians are usually filled with dumb people. And I worry about them trying to get on this kick where they're going to sacrifice. Anyway, yeah, so now go on. Anyway.
And that's the end of the game. Thanks for clicking. You listen to Time In with me, Ricardo Lungus, and
yours truly, Tommy Crenshaw, TTFN.